Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to A Guide to Poor Parenting, a podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
have a few drinks
and talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Guide to Poor Parenting.
And Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Poor Parent Pod.
And I'm thinking of dropping Twitter just because...
Should we say X or just
not
even do anything on Twitter?
I don't know. No, we don't have any followers on Twitter, and it seems like everybody's leaving, and the only reason I'm on Twitter is so I can look at dirty pictures. So
okay.
That's not what I'm linked to on the podcast account, but I cannot open my Twitter, my personal Twitter in public company because it is quite impolite. But if I do post to Twitter, then you will get to hear all about our fabulous guest, Miss Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to come visit us.
Yes.
We've had some rescheduling because that's what happens when you have kids.
Yes, every day.
Every day, yes.
Yep.
Well, thank you for taking the time and coming out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, Miss Maria, what are we drinking today?
Ooh, I am drinking whiskey, Canebrake whiskey with ginger ale.
Yes. Jennifer is drinking her favorite whiskey, Jameson.
Yes, and I am drinking Gentleman Jack. So we have, Maria was like, I want some whiskey. And I was like, oh, let me get all my whiskey bottles out. And all of them are just like maybe 2 shots left in them, except for like one whiskey I bought in Kentucky a few weeks back. And then we had some peanut butter whiskey. So I was like, well, you decide what we're drinking and we'll go with that.
Yep.
So good choices all around.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I love mine. How's your ginger ale and Canebrake?
Actually, it is really good. I'm surprised. I've never had Canebrake before, so this is new to me, but I'm loving it.
We got that in Nashville.
We got that in Colorado. Yeah, remember we went to the Stanley Museum? This where
we flew up there, and I don't think we flew back.
It says it's a Tennessee legend.
Yeah, we got that. We got that at that old automotive plant.
Marathon Motors.
Yeah, Marathon Motors. Yeah, it's.
Okay.
Yeah, the Marathon Motors is this old auto factory up in Nashville, and they have 3 distilleries. They have Greenbrier, they have whatever that one is, and then they have a third one. Corsair. And we did a tasting, and I like that one, so it wasn't very expensive.
This is actually really good.
Yeah. I never tried with ginger ale, though. I've gotten to the point now I just always drink my whiskey neat, not neat, but on the ice.
The rocks.
Yeah.
I can't do neat. I can't do warm liquor.
All right. Well, where was I going? I think it's time for a quick break, so we'll be right back. All right. I just looked at, I was like, wow, that was quick. Why is it? Normally we're at the 15-minute mark when we do our breaks.
Well, it's because we haven't talked.
Oh, that's right.
We didn't talk about our days. You didn't have some, extra words to put in the beginning of the introduction.
That's true. I didn't have some crazy story.
How, either chilly or noisy the house is today. You will hear the 4th grandchild, the baby, making lots of noises in the background just to warn you guys. Well, possibly. I don't know if it takes it out during it, but
if you hear a baby screaming,
up a storm right now. So, but usually you add some extra little things to that, and then we talk about our week and blah blah blah. True. But we have Maria here, and it is way more important than how our week was. So,
well, I was about to say before we get started, how was your week, Miss Maria?
It was okay. Nothing too crazy. We're trying to find a new school for my son.
Uh-oh.
And so going through all that drama. And then of course I take care of my mom. She's a paraplegic, so I take care of her a lot of times during the day. But other than that, it's been kind of slow, not necessarily slow, but just continuous. Like it's always the same thing every time. Yeah. So it's been okay.
So wasn't bad, wasn't good, was okay. We'll take it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is your son in elementary school? Because he's 5, right?
Right. So what happened was my son was in a private school, and he decided he wanted to have a tantrum and tear up the classroom.
Oh, Lord.
show his behind. And so the school was like, yeah, we don't really know if we can deal with him. We don't have the teachers that have the training to deal with him. So he's been out of school for about, I want to say maybe 2.5 weeks. And he was in kindergarten.
Okay.
And so right now we're looking to see what we can do as far as like if we want to do a homeschool kind of situation, which I know about, or if we want to like put him in public school. But like I think we may have put him in kindergarten too quick because he's kind of like that COVID baby. Like he was born in 2019, so he's been in the house and with us like.
So he didn't do preschool.
He started preschool like really late, like at maybe like almost at 4.
Okay.
So we were just so terrified about like, oh my God, COVID, you know.
I gotcha.
And so he stayed with us up until he was like 3.5, almost 4. And then he went to kindercare. And
did he show his butt there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
he showed his butt there too, but it was like more of like
normal 5-year-old stuff.
5-year-old stuff.
Gotcha.
But this time he just like, God, he showed his ass. So they were like, we don't know how to handle these kind of things and everything. And so we took him out and he's getting evaluated for like ADHD. And
that's good that you're getting so that you can get him onto an IEP, which would really help him because then people can help with behavior.
Right.
Or if he has to have help with reading or whatever.
Exactly.
I know that with Wesley. But do you like the zone that you're... Or the school that you're zoned for?
Yeah, we're like zoned for Madison City.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's like, you know, it has its good and bad. It's just that you'd have to stay on their ass. Like, they have the resources, but you have to like bug the hell out of them. My kid needs this.
You'll have to do that in any school that you put them in. Yeah. They say they want to help, but then in the long run, it's kinda...
easily let him fall through the cracks. The support group Jennifer I go to for adoptive families, like we know some tiger moms who will like threaten lawsuits very quickly to schools if they don't like get their shit together.
And if you ever need any help, if you do put them in public school, we can get you to some people that can probably help you with like fighting them. If you need to,
because he's not going. I think he's going to repeat kindergarten because he's just 5. He turns 6 next month. So we're thinking like he may have been too. He wasn't mature enough to do kindergarten because it was just kind of like structure and
COVID doesn't help things.
And then, so we're probably going to make him repeat kindergarten in a public school setting, but we just want to have everything lined up for him before he starts,
I got you.
So now we're just going through the process of getting that established.
Yeah, the reason why I asked you if you liked the school that you were zoned for, is that there's something called an M2M transfer, which is minority to majority transfer, where you can sign up to see if you can get him into a different elementary school. Because that's what I did with my son. He went to MLK.
Okay.
And it wasn't a bad school, but they didn't have after school. And I needed that for work because he was getting... Their after school is at Chapman Elementary, which is just down the street, but he was riding a bus for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Because they would drive all through North Huntsville and all the way around back, and he was the second to last stop before the bus actually parked.
Oh my goodness.
And he has ADHD and ODD, and me personally, as a 43-year-old woman, if I don't have anything to do, and I'm on a bus for 2 hours, I'm going to go fucking stir crazy.
Exactly.
And if you give a child that doesn't know how to control themselves, it's not going to work. So I did the M2M transfer, got him into Blossomwood, and then COVID kicked in, and I'm like, fuck.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. There we go. But so that's why I was asking about like if you like that school or not. But if you're in Madison, then you'd have to drive into Huntsville.
Yeah. No, she'd have to transfer another Madison.
I don't think they have another.
Yeah, they have multiple Madison elementary schools.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we're off of like Zert Road, like all the way down Zert Road.
I got you.
Like, that's Madison? I thought that was Huntsville.
No, that's Madison.
Well, all the way down Zert Road
all the
is
way down
Madison.
Zert Road, like past the Toyota field.
Oh. Because I know Williams is down there, and that's why I was confused.
Well, I think it's their line. Like the further you go down Zert, there's that line where it's Huntsville and then Madison, if I'm not mistaken.
Because
but
he's zoned for Horizon, which is off of Old Madison Pike.
I thought that was a middle school.
It's an elementary and middle, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I used to live down the street from that. I would. It's like right. Do you know where Dublin Park is, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
oh,
little.
it's over there.
Yeah, it's a little bit before that.
Oh, you got a good trek to get him to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
he's then high school is Bob Jones, as for right.
Is there another elementary school down that way?
There is, and I cannot think of the name of it.
There's one right off of Zert, isn't there? Like if
That
you
was
go
a
down
middle
Zert and take a
school.
right,
There's a
an
middle
elementary
school
I
down
think there's a
there.
middle. I think
That's
he goes to
Williams.
I think he would go to that middle school.
Oh, I thought
But
that was
that's
an elementary
that's
school.
Huntsville.
Yeah.
That's not Madison though.
I thought that was
Crazy.
an elementary school because my friend lived over by there. But anyways, it don't matter.
it doesn't
but
matter.
Anyways, you can look into it, especially if you
Yeah.
hold them back.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do.
If you're thinking homeschool, I would see if someone would do it for you because if you have a paraplegic mom that you take care of and you're going to try to teach your son, I don't think that would be very good for your mental stability.
There's no way I'm gonna do it myself. Like I would have to probably get someone to like be like a private tutor.
Yeah.
And then get him enrolled in some things like that will help with like socialization, like he can go out, that kind of thing. But not me. I ain't doing.
And homeschool, they do have where they do things together.
Yeah.
I know that. I've heard it in the group before where they get together so that they can socialize and they'll do their field trips together and things like that. Because one of our programs at work is that we do the it's a field trip anyways, and we've had many homeschool that they just kind of come together and say we want to do it, and they bring all their kids so that they can interact with all the kids. So
I know there's several places at Low Mill that do something for homeschool kids, like a STEAM thing or STEM.
STEM?
Some
Okay,
sort of
yeah.
like come do this extracurricular thing with us.
right.
But yeah, that's tough. That when you're right at that cutoff, it's like, if you're too young for if you're too young for kindergarten, it can really fuck you up.
Yeah.
And if you're too old for it too, it can be a bit like Wesley's kind of old, but he's so goddamn immature that it like doesn't matter. But
Yeah, he was 6 when he went to kindergarten.
yeah, but I think 6 is when normally kids start first grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
So-
that cutoff because he's an August baby.
You see, I think it was an April baby.
So when he was in August, I guess the parents were just like, okay, we'll just wait.
He also was probably jumped around in foster care a bunch too, so who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't know when he went to foster care, so I can't
Yeah.
say. But he'll be, if he graduates high school in February. No, I said August. I was thinking of Patrick. My bad. Wesley was born in February. Mm-hmm. And if he graduates, he'll be 19 because he'll turn 19 in February and then graduate in May.
That's
So.
a mighty big if.
Well, I'm trying to put good vibes out there for him.
Good vibes. It's
All
gonna
right.
happen.
Well, Miss Maria, let's travel back in time. I want to actually start back how we know each other, because I think we met you through Catherine, my friend Catherine. She's actually been on the podcast before. She was she our first season?
No.
Or yeah, okay.
Don't ask me.
We can't remember anything. But Catherine's been on. So Catherine and I used to be across street neighbors at my old neighborhood. And did I meet you before I moved? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the worst memory, so I apologize. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I think I had gone to y'all's one of your first Christmas parties when.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, Kathy. I went with Kathy that
Oh,
one time. But I've known Kathy since we were like 7.
So you're a Huntsville native? Mm-hmm. Wow. You've seen all the
Went to
changes.
elementary school and middle school together.
Where'd y'all go to elementary and middle?
Holy Family.
Is that a private school here in town?
Yeah, Catholic
Okay.
school. Right down like Pulaski Pike. So, like if you're going straight down Pulaski Pike. If you're almost headed towards Clinton, if you're going towards downtown, it's a little small, like.
Oh, I do know there. It's it's over. It's its fence overlooks sunny Hereford. Yep. I remember seeing that.
And it's a Catholic? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
When was the last time you went to confession? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, it's been a while. But yeah, we've known each other. Gosh, it seems like forever.
So what's funny about that statement for our listeners, in Huntsville, Sunny Hereford is a public high school, or public elementary school, sorry. And that's where Kalia was actually zoned for, and she went to for till third grade, I believe. And it is named after Catherine's grandfather. And it's a public school, and you two went to the private school across the street.
It's crazy.
Come on, irony.
Yeah, it is crazy. I've met her grandfather maybe a couple of times.
Is he's not still with us, is he?
No, he's not still with us. But I was more around her dad, Junior. Yeah, is he Junior? Because it was senior, junior. I thought they may have had someone else.
Third.
A third. But yeah, I mean, that's my homie.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
We love Catherine. She's now. You two met when you said 7th?
Like 7 or 8, something like that.
Wow, that was long. I don't know anyone from that far back. College is as far as back as I can go from my friends.
And we would like exchange war stories on how the sisters would treat us. Like we had this one sister, Sister Mary Anthony. She always, I think that we thought that maybe she like worked out on the side because her grip on your arm would like just pull you out of existence.
She had that old school hand gripper thingy that she could.
Oh my goodness.
Was she like Miss Trunchbull from Matilda?
Yes.
Flinging it around with your pigtails?
She always wore sandals with like those like knee-high
Stockings?
Support socks?
Oh,
Got to keep that blood out of her leg.
But yeah,
so
I mean, we got some war stories, I think, if we sat around and talk about our experience going to Holy Family. And there's a lot of people around Huntsville who actually went to Holy Family. Maybe for like a year, or maybe like all through elementary and middle school.
Is it a high school too?
There is a high school, but that one is, I want to say it's not too far from like Bridge Street area.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it the John Paul II?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that
Yeah.
one. We used to, when Jennifer and I did
Sports.
I-9 sports, we
Yeah.
took them.
Yeah.
That was, God. During the spring and fall, it was fine.
Yep.
But that summer, when we had to sit outside, and we had a little pop-up tent that had no ventilation, and we were dying.
Because we are pasty white folks that burn.
Yeah.
We're vampires.
Yes.
So did you end up going to John Paul for high school, or
No,
did y'all
John
go
Paul
somewhere
wasn't
else?
even around. I went
Oh,
to
okay.
Huntsville High, actually.
Oh, did you?
Wow. Did Catherine go with you?
Mm-mm. Catherine went to a Catholic high school in Coleman, Alabama.
Oh,
St.
shit.
Bernard.
Coleman?
Coleman.
Good Lord.
Did
Her
she-
and Beth, her sister.
Did she like have any relatives down there? Or did they drive every single day to Coleman
No,
and back?
that school was like a kind of like pre-college high school where
the
everyone
prep
had
school?
like dorms and prep school, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Damn.
So they lived there.
Coleman.
In Coleman.
So
This was during probably in the 90s too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for our listening audience, Coleman, Alabama, it's about 45 minutes south of Huntsville, but it was a sundown town up until recently.
Still is.
Like, yeah, but it was the home of the KKK for years. It is like every time I go down there and I take my daughter out for dinner or lunch, it's like she's the only person of color. And I'm always amazed when I hear like a friend of mine who's a masseuse. He grew up in Coleman and he's Mexican, and I'm like, oh, I bet that was fun. But he always says it was fine.
Did you have Well, for our listening audience, Miss Maria is of African American descent, so that's why we're talking about this.
And
But
Catherine is too.
Yeah.
Well, it's like she's dead.
Yeah,
She still
no,
is.
she just changed. She just went and was like, you know what, I want a Michael Jackson treatment, and she changed. But did you have any problems with?
No, because
do you know if she? Because I don't even think she talked about it on it. Do you know if she had any?
I'm sure she had a few, but she doesn't like really talk about it. It's more of like we were like sitting around and like shooting the shit.
Yeah,
she'll talk about it. A couple of like run-ins with Coleman people.
Yeah,
but I don't think she's had any like terrible run-ins. But you probably have to check with her.
Yeah,
I know whenever we go that direction, we don't stop in Coleman. Like,
nope. And you go speed limit.
Yeah.
Like even as a white person, for me, I go speed limit through Coleman because Just
Well, it's a
'cause-
speed trap. That's how they fund their local government, I
Yeah.
think.
So like I'm like, and I can't imagine. And then if Wesley's in the car with me, I'd be like going under speed limit. I'd be like 64. You can't get me, motherfucker.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we go like if we have to go like Birmingham or like Hartselle, which is before Coleman. But if we have to go like past it or whatever, it's always during the daytime, and it's always during like.
Yep.
And we make sure we're out of there. We make sure our gas is full.
Before you even, yep. I understand that.
We will stop. Whatever is after Coleman on it is after Coleman. But
And it's a shame because it's a pretty area. Like there's a lake there. Smith Lake is there. And it's
there's a grotto. There's
yeah.
like
There's
Ave Maria
Yep.
grotto. Yeah.
It's a real pretty area. So it's a shame they're so fucking racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just go ahead and just zoom right on through.
Yeah. Okay. So
So-
that's high school. Well, no, that's high school for her. And then you went to Huntsville.
I went to
How was that? Because, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, JJ.
I was just going to say, I like Huntsville because it reminds me of Greece with the front stairs going up. But that is the only thing about Huntsville that I like. And I'm talking about Huntsville High School.
So I think just to clarify what Jennifer's talking about for our non-Huntsville people, the Huntsville High School building is kind of classical architecture. It's got that big prominent staircase leading up to the front doors. So because when you said it was like Greece, are you thinking like blue roofs and white tiles or?
No, just the stairs going up to the
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
but we didn't have that.
Classical architecture.
We didn't
yeah.
have that. I went to Butler, so.
I mean, Huntsville High that I went to was like one of the oldest high schools
Really?
around. Oh yeah.
When did they build that piece of shit? That's there now.
God, it's been
Is it not the same building that it is now? Oh.
There used to be a whole nother like section behind it. Like
I did not know that. Okay, so not to be like telling your age or anything, but when did you graduate?
96.
Oh, we're the same age.
I thought they had the stairs
Oh
then.
no, stairs, girl, no. We were
Because I graduated in 99.
we were this,
Now I
I
gotta
think
look
they
it
were
up.
probably trying to plan to build a new Huntsville High, but we were like the oldest high school in and so
I thought Butler was the oldest high school.
Butler could be or Johnson, but we were like
Because we like had asbestos like hanging out from the roof,
Yeah,
and
probably
we didn't have
Huntsville
any
too.
windows, and
Okay, I don't know if you can see my phone this far away, but does that what it kind of look like? Mm-hmm. Okay, so currently Huntsville High School looks like kind of like a bank or kind of like a stereotypical like high school, like big promenade staircase leading up to the picture that I pulled up. It's just a big brick rectangle with another brick rectangle attached to it. Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay. So
I think what they did was the old Huntsville High building. I don't know if they made it like. No, they didn't make it an elementary school or middle school. I know they tore it down and did something with it, but
it's in the same location. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
everything's like like a big circle.
So, since you and I are the same age, I know it doesn't apply anymore. But what were your thoughts of Huntsville High School at the time? Because that's where Clea is zoned for.
I thought it was okay. I went coming from a private school to a public school. It was like
Was it the Wild West?
a little bit, but it was also we were going to school with like the mayor's kids, and so you had like
Really? I would have thought they would have gone to like a private school or really.
No, you had like the mayor or like a city chief, somebody some like prominent person in Huntsville's kids were going to Huntsville High because like where my mom is, we were zoned actually for Johnson, and my mom was able to get a waiver to have us me and my brother to go to Huntsville High.
Now, where did you grow up here in Huntsville?
I grew up off of like Pulaski Pike.
Oh, okay.
Northside.
Up near like where the Toyota plant is now, like Bob Waite Lane.
Well, that's up there. That's
not,
way up there.
Yeah.
So, because we're not we're probably like 2.5 miles from Pulaski Pike here where we're at, and it's a long road, but it starts at like Holmes here in Huntsville. So it starts in the middle of Huntsville and goes way north.
Yeah.
So you were way up there.
We were really far up, and so my mom didn't want us going to Johnson. I don't know why, but
Because that's where all the black people are.
yes.
I guess
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Like,
No, but yeah, I mean, at the time, yeah. And she was just like,
So was sorry to keep interrupting, but was Huntsville pretty like segregated at the time? I mean, it's still pretty segregated now, but was it segregated?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I would say a little bit. You had your groups, and you had like, the cheerleaders and the football players. They all kind of like hung out together. Then you would have like your athletes, like your track and field or whoever would hang out. But I just hung with a couple group of people, but they were mostly all black. So,
well, at least you had black people there, so that's good.
oh yeah.
Well, I guess
full of us, but yeah.
What I meant was Huntsville itself as a city segregated. Did you have like, these are black neighborhoods, these are the white neighborhoods?
Yeah, and they're still the same.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, I mean, like
North side.
Yeah.
Terry Heights, just down the road from us, is still a predominantly black neighborhood, and I know North Huntsville but North Huntsville used to be like was a gentrified area, because Zane told me many times that's where he lived, because it was like the hot area to move to.
Yeah,
That was the early 80s.
Yeah, so
it's still kind of, well, not kind of, it is pretty segregated. Like, but more people like are starting to move north, move to the north side, as they would say. But yeah, it was very much like around Huntsville High area in that particular spot. It was nothing but like white people, because it was we called it Old Huntsville, because it was like all these old homes.
because it's an old town basically, almost. Yeah.
And so that's where they would live, and then the black kids will come from the north side.
Is the Huntsville High that you went to in the same place that the Huntsville High is now,
Kinda,
off of Bob
sorta.
Wallace?
Kind of. Well, the way
Or
we went
Drake.
in was off of Governors, but that Huntsville High faces Bob Wallace.
Okay.
So it's almost like we were behind the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
Where it was?
well, yeah, because, like, I don't know. I just remember the stairs, but I don't remember when I started seeing the
I don't know
stairs.
I think maybe be like 15 years or so.
But I couldn't look it up. But apparently it was originally built in 1905, the original
an
one.
old-
And it was not a fun looking building, but Butler was not a fun looking building either, so.
Yeah, I had some friends that went to Lee
Johnson.
Johnson.
No
Johnson's
one
still
ever
around.
really had friends from Grissom.
Was Grissom
I didn't.
was Grissom always like the white suburb, like the
Yeah.
far flung white suburb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like South Parkway is still pretty much, I want to say, mostly white people's.
Okay. Because the reason I keep saying this, because we have, like, for some reason, and I bless y'all for doing it, we have a small contingent of people who listen to us from Canada, from like Saskatchewan.
Oh, nice.
And we have like half our audience is either, well, we get a good chunk from Alabama, but we also get a good chunk from Georgia and some
Okay.
from Virginia. And I'm like, I don't know why, but so I always like try and explain Huntsville shit to people.
Yeah.
He explains what I say because I just be talking.
But so we're talking about, like, some of these high schools are old as shit, but like in Huntsville, there's a neighboring city called Madison. That's where Maria lives now.
Yeah.
And it used to be pretty, like, they used to be pretty far apart. Now Huntsville just kind of surrounds Madison pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's also the city where it's like the kind of rich white flight, where all the rich white people from Huntsville are like, oh, I want to get away from the poor blacks, so we're going to move over here.
Right.
Was it always that way?
As long
Was
as
it?
I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
Like I said, we never had. I don't know anybody that had friends from Grissom.
Okay.
And
Until later
Huntsville
on in life.
High and Grissom were like rivals.
Now, Ingersom's not a name I've heard of. Where's that?
What?
You said Ingersom?
No, Huntsville High and Grissom were like
And Grissom. Okay.
and Grissom, and then Randolph. Randolph was another like private.
Has that been around forever?
I think so.
Okay, because Randolph is a private prep school here in
Yeah.
town, and Zane's actually step niece went there, and I looked into it, but that motherfucker is $10,000 a year. And I was telling my cousin about this. I was like, "Oh, I'd love to send Kalia there, but I was like, I can't afford $10,000 a year." And she's like, "Oh yeah, my kid's private school is $20,000 a year per child." I'm like,
Where is it?
St. Louis.
Oh,
But
damn.
she's also an oncologist, and her husband's a surgeon. So I'm like, okay,
They got it. Yeah.
yeah, their salary's like two orders of magnitude bigger than ours.
So did y'all play Randolph?
I don't even.
Or just because
We may
you brought up
have.
Randolph with being a.
We may have like played Randolph. I just don't. I just remember there were some people who like always talked about Randolph. I'm from the Randolph area, and
I like your.
I mean, they're rich as fuck.
Yeah.
right. And so, like, we just knew, like, if you went to Huntsville High, then you were like this kid, especially if you were white. You knew people, like, or your parents knew people, or something crazy like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's always been segregated. I think it will continue to be, just depending how's everyone moving. Like,
Jemison is Johnson and predominantly black.
exactly.
Lee now is pretty balanced, I think.
Yeah.
Because of New Century.
Right.
Columbia is heavily black, even though it's like right in the middle of Research Park.
Yeah.
So for Research Park, Huntsville has this huge corporate park area called Research Park, where all our defense contractors sit, and there's a high school right in the middle of it. But it is majority black, and that's where we were zoned for. And it was a bad school. Like my son got when first week he was there, someone offered him to sell him an AK-47. Yeah.
What?
And and this kid, the soul tried to sell him the AK-47, was friends with him up until 2 years ago when he shot himself on accident playing with a gun. So yeah, it was a bad school.
I'll probably, in my opinion, it's probably where all the people from Butler went, because Butler closed down and became The Rock.
I think
Yeah.
We don't have a high school around here anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's where all the people from like south, there's a bunch of neighborhoods that hug the Arsenal. We have a giant army base here in town, and there's some neighborhoods that hug the Arsenal that are pretty poor. And there's in central Huntsville, like, there's a quarter called Holmes, and there were a lot of government housing projects there. And this neighborhood and Terry Heights, I think, were also kind of poor neighborhoods too. And I think they all get funneled there.
I remember, because we had Arsenal kids when we were going to Holy Family. Big old like green bus would come pick up all the Arsenal kids, and all the Arsenal kids would go, like, for high school, would go to Butler. That would be like the school all of them would go to. So I remember that. And Nora kind of like, how Butler's kind of situated, and not too far from that was what used to be West Lawn, or
West Lawn, and now I don't even know.
It's a church.
is it church?
No.
West Lawn's where you went to high school, middle school.
Butler is the church.
Yeah.
No.
That's the high school.
But
West Lawn is some type of like.
That's the middle school you went to, isn't it?
Yeah. It's some type of school, I think. I looked it up, and it says it's for children with like ADHD.
Yeah.
But I never see any cars there, and I don't really know what it's about. So I'm just But I went to Ridgecrest, West Lawn, and then Butler.
Yeah.
So Jennifer went to all the good schools.
That's right.
Yeah. And I also went to McDonald, which is like all the way down, like near the animal shelter on Triana.
Yeah. So for all our non-Huntsville listeners, you're getting an education on Huntsville schools.
Because back in the day, elementary school was just K through 5th.
Yeah.
Then you went to middle school. Then you went to high school. Now they're changing them, and they either go K through 6th or K through 8th.
Well, even the K through 8th, though, they segregate the 6th or the 7th and 8th graders off.
Right, but I mean, I'm just saying,
it's all one building.
So it's, I guess that's why they got rid of the other schools. And no, like I said, Butler didn't have windows. We didn't have, like, it looked like asbestos in the ceiling. It was just ghetto.
Yeah. Well,
which is
Huntsville
me.
High wasn't too far behind,
There you go.
honey. That building was old.
So you graduated in 96. Same year as you did. What kept you in Huntsville?
Well, at first, I did not want to like come back to Huntsville.
I can't imagine why.
Because I know, right? But yeah, I mean, I had it on my mind. I was like, I'm getting out of Alabama. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going somewhere. So I went to college. I was at Jacksonville State University, which is like, I don't know, about 2 hours from here.
Where is that? That's here in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where that's where Zane's stepbrother works. Yeah.
So you didn't get out of Alabama.
So I didn't get out of Alabama until
She went to deeper in Alabama.
I just went like
You just
south.
want to be near Catherine and Coleman.
I know but she left me though. She went
I
to
was just being
Louisiana. She was like deuces.
I was just being silly.
I know. But yeah, I mean, I spent college here, my college years here, and then I got a job in Nashville.
Ooh,
And
big
I
city
was
girl.
Like, deuces.
That's in Tennessee, guys. So she did get out of Alabama.
For our Saskatchewan listeners.
Well, I mean, I was just,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I know.
And I worked in Nashville for maybe like 3 years, and then
What were you doing up in Nashville?
I was working for the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. So it was like this. It's like a government state-run thing that helps high school students go to college. So I was working for a federal grant.
that's
Oh,
cool.
you making the world a better place.
I guess so. We'll see. But I worked there for like 3 years, and then I got a job to move to Atlanta.
That's
Ooh,
in Georgia. For the
even
people
bigger
that are
city.
listening, not in Alabama.
And I worked at Georgia Tech
Ooh.
for like 3
fancy.
years in their financial aid office. I was like a scholarship coordinator.
Hell
Look
yeah.
at you. You're just trying to help everybody, no
I
matter
know,
where you
man.
go,
Trying
huh?
to tell you.
There you
But
go.
then I was getting homesick, and my
You're like, I need a little racism in my life.
I mean, Georgia. Yeah, you could go to some places in Georgia and found
I
some
know, but
sundown
if you're in
states.
Georgia Tech, that is the heart of Atlanta.
it
Yeah.
really is. And I wasn't used to big cities because Huntsville is like
Well, especially when you were growing up, you and Jennifer growing up, there's like, I moved here in '09 from Dallas, and this was a fucking podunk ass little town. It's still pretty goddamn tiny, but I've gotten used to it and I've kind of appreciated it now, but it's still pretty fucking tiny as hell.
It is.
I can't imagine what it was in like late 90s. Whew.
And like it was crazy, and I wasn't used to like traffic, so like you just lose your shit in like Atlanta traffic all the time. Like it's like a parking lot.
Yep.
You cannot follow the speed limit.
No, you can't.
If you go 70, you are going to get run the fuck over.
You are.
And then you stop.
Yes. And
Were you at
And
least
you stay
living like
stopped.
the Sex and the City life? Were you like in a fun area of town, having Cosmos with your girlfriends?
I moved around like a lot. So like I had my first apartment. It was like maybe 15 minutes from like Midtown. So yeah, I was kind of doing Sex and the
Midtown's
City
fun
kind
area.
of thing. But at the same time, of course, I was still dating this guy that became my husband eventually. But anyway, we'll get on that another subject.
We'll get to that in about 20 minutes. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I was in Atlanta for like 3.5 years or so.
Okay.
And then I guess I was getting kind of homesick. My parents were getting older. And then my husband was here. Yeah, husband was here. Not husband at that time, but boyfriend.
Boyfriend was in Huntsville.
Boyfriend was in
Family's
Huntsville.
in Huntsville.
Everyone was in Huntsville.
Gotcha.
So
Were
I was
you
like,
going to Georgia Tech or were you just working?
just
at?
working?
So did you get a degree?
I didn't get it from Georgia Tech. When I came back to Huntsville, I went to University of North Alabama. So
Okay.
all my education is from somewhere. And I got my undergrad at South Alabama, and I got my master's in North Alabama.
Okay.
Oh, master's education.
Yeah.
Look at you,
So
girl.
just kind of like I've been in Alabama, even though I try to run away from it.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
That's what I was just asking when you went to like Tennessee and Atlanta if you were like going to school, but you were just working at
Just
that
working,
time.
girl.
I
was just
got
working.
you.
And
And then you met a man,
then I met a man.
and he ended up being from the same place that your parents are, and you're like, fuck.
Actually,
Oh, well, let's hear that story.
when I met this man, he was from North Carolina, Winston-Salem area.
Oh,
So
can't trust them Salem boys.
He's a
was
witch.
Wrong Salem.
Oh, okay. I knew that. I was just being silly for the listeners. I
know.
wanted to make people laugh. Sorry.
So he was working for like IBM,
Not a defense contractor.
kind of sorta. I think I don't
Lord.
know. It was he used to work like over in Research Park for a while.
In North Carolina's Research Park or Research Triangle? Oh, Huntsville. Okay.
So let me see. He graduated. He did an internship, and he went to North Carolina A&T, which is in, like the Winston-Salem area in North Carolina. He did an internship somewhere in Virginia, close to like DC area. Then he got a job offer to come here to Huntsville, Alabama, and work in like defense contracts or something with like NASA and everything. And so he was a contractor. We met. This was way back when like Yahoo Personals was like a thing.
Girl.
So we met online.
You like, just throw out some AOL chat rooms. Ooh, this is IRC shit. That's some old. God, we're all old.
That fucking paperclip. I wanted to kick his ass.
Clippy.
Paperclip, or the little dog with the little dog and the little red bouncing ball. Oh my god. But anyway, okay.
God, we're old.
So I met him online. I met him. He came to Nashville. He was living in Huntsville still. Came to Nashville. We met up and did our thing or whatever.
I bet you
and started
did.
Yes, we did. And so we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
He met my parents. He met my brother, my sister. He met all of my family.
Aww.
And then I went up there to North Carolina to meet his family, who is like huge. His dad has like 16 brothers and sisters or something. So it's like a huge family. So I met all of them and we dated while I was in Nashville. We dated when I was in Atlanta. And then when I finally moved back to Alabama because my parents were getting older, finally, after I swear we've dated for at least 6 years before.
All long distance?
From Nashville to Georgia.
Yeah, at least 6 before he was like, okay, I'm going to put a ring on it. And even then I was like, it's about damn time.
He's like, I want some Maria.
Well, he was like,
up close
I'm
and
waiting for
personal.
your ass. You've been in Nashville. You've been in Georgia.
True.
When you coming to Huntsville?
True. I was ready to not come back, but I guess.
All right, so you finally moved back to Huntsville, and this would have been...
So this would have been
2006?
6-ish, yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking 4 years for college, then 6 years for Atlanta and Nashville, so...
Yeah, I kind of hopped around a little bit.
Oh, I was thinking she went to these places before college, so that's where my brain went. So
2006. So I was actually just finished up my master's in 2006. So wow. All right. So you moved back to get your let me ask you a question. So there's I don't know if it's a joke. It's a joke for me, but anytime I see a middle-aged white man in Huntsville, I'm like, oh, he's a fucking engineer because we're all goddamn engineers. Is your husband an engineer?
He is not.
What?
But he works in procurement.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
so he's still a nerd.
Yeah, pretty much. And works with procurement in NASA, whatever.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Hope Doge don't get him.
I don't know.
Man, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, so you moved back to get that procurement ring.
Yes, I did, and then like I said, my parents were here, and so when before we got married, though, I got crazy stories. So before we got married, I got really, really sick, to the point where I was on life support.
Oh shit!
At least
what happened?
It was something where I had a tumor on my adrenal gland, so it was making everything just go faster and faster. Heart rate and lungs.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Crazy shit. I don't remember a lot of it. This is just what my family told me.
Is this 2000?
This is 2012.
12.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So y'all
you've
been together. You've been here for a while
Yeah.
since it was 2006.
Yeah.
Y'all were already married?
Not married yet.
Not married yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going through this
This
crazy. Oh my God!
medical-
I'm so sorry.
And he still wanted to
I know.
a man that sticks around through sickness.
Yeah.
Because you always hear those horror stories about men living women for when they get breast cancer.
Well, yeah, and
you got a good one.
He hadn't even got married yet to say the in sickness and health part of the
Shit.
damn script.
And it was actually 2 months before we got married when I got sick.
Wow.
Because we had already planned it. We had already gotten the place. We had already.
You got a good one, ma'am.
Yeah, he got a good one too.
Well, I was about to say.
So
He got a great one.
yes, he do. But yeah, and so we got married in 2013, and we've been rocking ever since. My dad passed in 2016.
Aww.
I'm sorry.
And then my mom, she got in her car accident in 22.
So that's how she became a paraplegic.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's how she became a paraplegic. So
So you and I actually have quite a lot of parallels because I lost my father in 2013. No, 14. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
how did your father pass?
he was going to get a knee replacement surgery. He had knee replacement surgery. And so he was at Huntsville Hospital. Everything was going, good or whatever. They were doing all the extra stuff, something like that for after he got out of surgery. And so, like, me and Clarence went to go visit him, and he was doing fine and everything. He was like, well, call your mom. I was like, okay. He said, tell her to come up here. I was like, okay. So while my mom was up there with him, he had a pulmonary
embolism.
Yeah.
He got a blood clot in his leg, probably.
That went all the way up.
To his heart. Yeah. And so she was there when all that went down.
Do you feel like, in a way, he kind of knew maybe something was up for him to say, call your mama?
Maybe.
I'm just saying, that just crossed my mind.
It could.
Was he, so parallels with my life, we think we lost my dad to a heart clot or a blood clot. Was he wheezing before he passed?
You
don't remember?
Really I just remember there was just like, the thing they put on you that's like monitoring your heart rate. It always kept going off. Like, it was just like, bing, ding, there. And the nurses would come, it's just something with the machine. I can't remember what everything that thing is called. But it would go off like every 5 minutes.
Because I remember a few months before my dad passed, he'd be talking and I could hear a little, like a little whistle in his breath when he would take a deep breath. And I was like, Dad, you need to go get that taken care of. And then I got a call. I was laying in bed with Zane at the old house where you met me, and Mom was like, "Your dad passed in the middle of the night," and we think it was because he had a blood clot that hit his brain. So, wow. Yeah, but we have a lot of parallels.
We family.
We is family.
So, I mean, yeah, and I think he stuck with us because it was right around like Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
Oh, what a rough time to lose a parent.
Christmas,
yeah, that's
when he passed, like Christmas of 16.
Oh,
and then your mom had her accident
in 22, February of 22.
6 years later, God bless. Ugh.
So.
Was it like a hit and run?
It was like she had gone to get gas in her car, and she likes this. My mom lives out, off of Bob Waite Lane, so that's out near like Meridianville area.
So for our non-Huntsville, that's almost like Tennessee.
Almost, yeah.
Huntsville is probably about 45 minutes south of the Tennessee border, and what she's talking about is like pretty close to the border of Tennessee.
And she had gone to get gas, and I guess. This is from what people tell me because I kind of like spaced out.
Right.
Yeah. And I understand why.
So I guess a guy, he may have had like a medical emergency and he lost control of the car. And it hit my mom was like, she wasn't pumping gas. I think she was just kind of like standing and hit the gas pump, and it fell on her. And the guy's wife went, I don't know if she was wearing her seatbelt or not, but she
went through the windshield.
That
was just a horror all around.
Oh
God.
Yeah. And it was just kind of like, what? And
Damn.
so she stayed at Huntsville Hospital for probably maybe 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And maybe less than 2 months. But she was transferred over to this place in Atlanta called Shepherd Center. It's a arena for people who have spinal cord injuries, head injuries, strokes, different types. And it was amazing. Like, she did such a good job. And she stayed there for maybe like 4 months.
Wow.
4.5. And then came back here to Huntsville. So we had to like redo her house, everything to make it like wheelchair accessible. Like a shower,
handrails, seats,
everything.
Yeah.
Can she stand at all, or is she?
She wants to stand, but she has to have like 4 people helping her stand. Okay. And she can only stand for like a few seconds because her upper body strength isn't as where it should be, or I'm not saying where it should be, but she doesn't have that much upper body strength yet. Yeah. So she's still we're working on trying to get her more upper body strength to where
she needs to talk to Miss. What'd you say, Sister Mary?
Your sister.
Oh yeah, to get that arm straight.
Man, she's kind of strong, but I'm like, ooh, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so we've just been. That's been kind of like my life for the last 3 years.
I got you.
3.5.
So she stays by herself?
No, you might as well say we stay with her. She was staying by herself.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I'd want to stay by myself.
Well,
but now...
I think when she was by herself before the accident, right?
She was by herself.
Oh, yeah. It was 22, so that was only 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, okay, that
but
makes sense.
But now you might as well say we'll stay with her. Between our house in Madison and her house out.
North Huntsville. Yeah.
So we split our time.
Oh,
between
so
Wow.
just to not, I'm just curious. What happened to the dude and his wife? Do you know?
I don't know. Like,
Okay.
I know.
I know you said you
yeah.
blocked a lot of it out. I was just
Yeah,
wondering if
I don't
you
know
knew.
what happened. Like, we just hired a lawyer and just let him go from there.
Yeah.
But I know the wife passed, but I'm
Oh.
not sure what happened to the guy that was driving the car.
I got you.
Oh my God. That's just.
I mean, it's just a crazy like
Yeah.
scenario that you, just to think you're standing there pumping gas or done, like putting in, the cap on, you're about to walk out, and then bam,
Yeah.
that is
goddamn
just,
pump.
You can't make that shit up.
So on a less serious note,
Yes.
my friend Feej, who we've been trying to get on the goddamn podcast forever, because he's got 7 kids that him and his husband adopted. He called me probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and he's like, I did it again. I was like, what'd you do? I was like, wait, don't tell me. Did you drive off with the hose still in the car? He's like, yes. I was like, Feej, that is the third time you have done this. He's like, I know. I had to stop at some like random trash dump to throw the hose away. I was like, oh my God. So
How does that even like?
he was like, I was just enjoying this new, it was like chocolate covered like Pringles or some shit like that. And he was like, I just got distracted and drove off. I was like, third time in like 6 years, Feej. How do you do this?
Let me
Yes, defend this for me.
defend him a little bit. He is a nurse. He's a flight attendant. And then he has a partner who just kind of brings home kids sometimes. So that's why he has 7 adopted kids. But then they foster all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was just enjoying peace and quiet, and then just was just like, oh, I'm done. Okay. And then like,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
But,
I'm trying
but at
here.
the same time, I'm like, he's the only person I know who's ever done this.
But people have done it before.
Yeah, I mean that's why they developed those breakaway hoses. But still, Jesus.
Still, it's like, I don't know anyone else who's
Yeah.
ever done that.
I don't even
Well-
know how you would even break it. Like, I've always thought that it was like,
I mean, there's a thing on there that breaks away.
oh,
It's designed because, like, I think like because I think people must do it. I mean, I will say.
I've seen lots of videos of people
Yeah.
just running off with them.
Yeah.
I've never personally known anybody.
Well,
but-
it's kind of like delivering a baby. Like none of us have ever delivered a baby, but a fucking doctors can deliver 800 of them. So for some people, it just happens all the time. And for
Right.
Feej, driving off with.
he had his peace and quiet, and he was just like,
Yeah, I
okay,
guess.
I'm done.
We're gonna get him on this goddamn podcast one of these days.
Yep.
But all right,
Yeah.
so you get married in 13. Wow.
Get sick 2 months later.
yeah.
Oh, 2 months later or before?
2 months before.
2
Oh,
before.
sorry, 2
okay.
months before.
So your like adrenal gland is basically you're on cocaine for like
Ever.
because you're just like going 800 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He still marries you. Bless his soul. Bless his soul.
Well, I mean, she, got
You
off
are,
of life
like-
support. She probably got out of the hospital
Yeah.
before they got married, right?
Yeah. I got out of the hospital
Yeah.
before we got married. And we
So
still got
were you
married.
two talking about children at all during this time?
After we got married, we started talking about kids. And then we were going through the whole process of trying to get pregnant, that lovely journey. But I found that like I had fertility issues. I say.
Are you comfortable talking about them? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just to make
And
sure.
so we did like, the normal as whatever traditional thing, you do your whole, we're going to have a baby. We've been married only 2 years and now we're going to have a baby.
And then you got to put your legs up on the wall
and
after you have
everything's gonna
sex. And you have
everything's
to
gonna
plan
happen,
it.
right,
and I'm on my
everything's-
cycle, come home now.
Or it's like,
Yeah.
I got pregnant on my like honeymoon and none of that shit happened. So we were probably maybe 3 years into our marriage when we were like, okay, we need to start serious about, trying to have a kid. So we had gone to a couple of like specialists and they were like, well, Maria, and we had gone to this one guy and he was like, yeah, your eggs are old. And I was like,
well, how?
well, shit.
Well, like you would have been like.
Fuck you too, motherfucker.
No, right?
I was like, were you even 40 at this point?
I was not even 40 yet. But he was like, oh, yeah, your eggs are old. So
Jesus.
there's no, like,
Good
hope for
old
you.
bedside manner.
I was like,
You know what, motherfucker? You're old. What?
So I was like, yeah, I don't need to talk to you. And so we went to a couple other specialists and we're like, look, we want to have a kid, but I know that, you know, as he said, my eggs are old. And then they were like, well, if you want to have, probably the best way we could do is go through IVF. So that's what we did. We went through IVF.
Is that as brutal as it sounds?
Yeah, it's deep.
It's
like,
expensive. It's lots of shots, right?
Yes.
Because you have to like inject yourself with something to make your egg follicles pop out eggs early.
Like I had to, like, once we decided we were going to go with IVF, I had to take shots every single day. Or Clarence had to give me, my husband had to give me shots every single day.
May I ask how old you were?
Oh God, I was like 40-ish, 41 maybe.
Okay, so unfortunately it's that geriatric pregnancy.
Oh yeah, they call me
bullshit.
geriatric pregnancy for sure.
After 35 they say it. I'm like, fuck you.
You're right, exactly. And
sorry.
No, you're good. I'm trying to think. Let's see.
So lots of shots.
Lots of blood
hormones.
Were you going crazy at this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, like when we finally like sat down and decided to really do it, my dad had just passed maybe a year before.
So your hormones are like amped up to 11.
Like
I can't even imagine.
Man, and so like, but we had a really good doctor. She was like a reproductive endocrinologist out of Birmingham. She was amazing. And so once we decided we were going to go with IVF, and they would try to like test my eggs, but she was like, yeah, your eggs are not strong enough. So we had to go with donor eggs.
Oh, okay.
So Clarence did what he did with his special sauce.
Not the baby batter.
Had to get a donor. And then that's how I was able to get pregnant with through donor eggs and Clarence, my husband's special sauce. And the first transfer, I loved my doctor. She was just very positive and like speaking positive things over us and everything, prayers and everything.
Not telling you you're old.
Right. I mean, she was amazing. And so once the transfer happened and all that, it was like, I think I waited like 2 weeks and I found I was pregnant.
Yay. Now, was it like, because I know with that some IVS, they transfer like 4 eggs in to see if they'll take.
She was like, we only gonna do one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's so you don't have triplets because sometimes that's what happens is that they try. Do you know who the donor is?
Yes, we were able to pick her from like a
catalog.
Sort of, kind of.
Okay.
Did you try and pick?
Hey, I picked my son out of a catalog. It feels like so.
It kind of was like a catalog.
Did you try and pick someone like similar to you?
Similar to me, similar blood type. You know, like may have already had kids, like on their 3rd or 4th kid. You know, because they make bank. If your stuff is healthy, you get like $8,000.
I've heard my
stuff is healthy.
Jennifer, you were almost 45. Hush, girl.
I'm almost 44, motherfucker. You take that back.
You'll be 45 next year.
Shut up. I'll be 44 this year. I'm still 43. Damn it.
If Maria's eggs were geriatric at 39.
Hey, you never know. I might have Wonder Kid eggs. You never know.
You might. You know, hey.
I got birthing hips, so I might have some, super eggs.
Hey, you never know.
You know I'm just picking them.
I know.
You know I love you more than my luggage.
Yeah. You can get your roofs done.
Yeah, I mean, and I got pregnant with Nathaniel.
So I'm so glad that it happened on the first try.
It did.
Because I've heard horror stories about people going through all that hormones, shots, blah, blah, blah. And then it just fails. So, yay.
Yes, we were surprised too. Like, we were just like, we were preparing to think, okay.
So you don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
But you kind of do.
Yeah.
But you kind of don't. Yeah. And then you're like, yes. And then you're like, oh shit. Now I got to worry that it lasts 9 months.
Yeah.
Well,
and you're in your, you're the
geriatric pregnancy.
So you got to worry about all that.
Right.
Did you have to take any more shots?
I had to take shots for about 13 weeks.
Oof.
Yeah.
after we found out.
Right.
What were those shots for?
Well, because it's
To maintain it and to maintain the pregnancy, because my hormones were like all over the place.
Yeah, I bet they were.
And then-
oh, you poor thing.
My husband was giving
Well,
me
it's
the
your
shots.
Clarence.
It's my Clarence. He was giving me the shots, and my husband is very meticulous, so it'd be like very slow and trying to give me a shot, and I'd be like, hurry the fuck up, please, hurry up, you know.
Was it an intravenous or was it like in the ass
In
kind of
the
shot?
ass.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Was it side kind of?
Yeah, kinda
In the
side.
side, yeah.
And like, I'd be like, hurry up, please. And then he'd take me so slow.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. I'm like, hurry up. So yeah, I did it for like 13 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah. The only reason why I know this is that my brother was born when I was 18 years old. So my mom was 38.
Oh,
So she was a quote unquote geriatric.
yeah.
And she had to have the shots.
Oh yeah.
And she gave them to herself.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
And then sometimes she was like, baby girl, it just hurts. Can you please? And I'm like, Mama, I don't like needles. But I love my mama. So I was just like, okay, how do you want me to do it? Do you just want me to stab you and push? Or what do you, like, how? Because I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And so I had to give her shots every once in a while when she just couldn't, you know, do it herself. And so that's why I was asking about the shots.
God.
Because it's hard to try to do it yourself. But she did it because she knew how much I hate needles.
Yeah.
I'm guessing these needles are because, like, I take Trizepatide, like Ozempic and that kind of shit, and I'm just like, oh fuck it, I'll just jab myself in the gut. I don't really feel it anymore. But I guess these needles are much bigger.
I don't know what it was, but
Well, it's also the hormones that are in the needles
Yeah,
to try to help make sure that the baby stays.
in your geriatric womb.
Yeah.
I mean, my old ass.
Pretty much, you know, that everything levels out the way
Yeah.
that it needs to level
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
because you never know when you get into perimenopause or, you know, menopause or post. But so, because it can happen, perimenopause
Yeah.
can happen at like 30.
It sure can.
And for
Shut up. Don't even say it. And so they have to worry about that sort of thing. So
Yes.
they keep testing it.
yeah,
But I'm glad you only, 13 weeks is a long time.
amazing.
But I'm glad that's all you
crazy.
had to do.
Yeah. And then, of course, like, we had to, like, get him tested to make sure he was growing right. And we went through all the, like, what kind of tests?
Phases.
Yeah, all the phases of, like,
Yeah,
him
growth.
testing him and everything.
Did they ever have to like stab you, like to get blood from him inside your womb, or was it just like just ultrasounds and your blood work?
My blood work, ultrasounds, and there was one time they had to go up all of my business and, like, kind of make sure, like, he was developing.
Right.
And then this was before we knew it was a boy. He was, like, just bouncing all over the place like a little bean. And then she was like, would you like to know the sex? And I'm like, damn, you already know that? And she was like, yeah. I kind of felt I was going to have a boy, but we didn't care either way. And that's when we found out we were having a little boy, and we decided to name him after my dad.
Aww.
So he's named after my dad and my husband's dad. His middle name is Edward, which is my husband's dad's name.
Oh, that's so sweet to do that.
And I actually didn't make it the whole 40 weeks. Like, the cool thing is I had to actually go in early, like I think 38 weeks.
Well, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, and I had a C-section. They scheduled a C-section. I remember they were like, okay, so you're going to have a C-section. I'm thinking, oh, okay.
Why did they?
Just because of my old ass. And
Her geriatric womb.
I mean, I wasn't trying to like say you're old, but I was
They're like,
just,
girl, it's gonna fall out if you try and push it.
I was just wondering, like, you know,
that's what they were like, oh, yeah, you old.
like, did you like were you getting like high blood pressure, or were you having anything?
I was pretty, like, good, right? But my doctor was like, look, we ain't taking chances.
I got you.
So they're like, we're gonna
C-sections suck,
Yes.
from what I heard
They do.
from my family.
But the crazy thing was when it was scheduled, like, my husband's birthday, like, they called me like, hey, you're scheduled for your C-section April 3rd. I was like, oh, do you think we can push that back? That's my husband's birthday. And they're like, yeah, no.
We don't care about that sort of thing. We care about the child inside your body, and we need that baby out now.
So at like 7:30, my
A.M.?
son A.M.
A.M.?
My
Okay.
son was born on my husband's day.
Aw.
So they share a birthday.
That's cute.
That's cute.
Yeah. So, and he's a little boo. He was a little boo boo. He's only like 5 pounds, so he had to stay in the NICU.
I was about to say 5 pounds is not that small.
He was. I guess they did this like little baby protocol because he wasn't like
okay.
this little guy. He was only like 2 ounces.
You got to check the lungs
Make
and
sure
all
they
that good
inflate,
stuff.
yeah.
Make sure that he's breathing correctly and there's no jaundice and all that fun stuff.
Precious.
And he, I thought that, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna have a C-section. You know how they have like the TV shows where the mom, they have the curtain up and the mom is like, oh, my baby. They put the baby right here. They're like, oh no, yeah, we're gonna take your ass to sleep. And I was like, no, I can't.
Because we have a friend who had a C-section, and they put the baby on her chest.
But it might be because she's old.
Yeah, because I'm old.
Geriatric womb.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like,
we ain't taking no chances. We ain't trying to make you try to push during the middle of this. We just
You
gonna
might
knock
break
your
a hip.
ass out. That's right.
And I was crying. I was like, oh, I can't see my baby. And they were just like, you'll be fine. And
You'll see it eventually. It's fine.
And then they finally brought him out. And I was like, oh my God, you're so little. And my husband's over there crying and everything.
Aww.
Yeah, it was a good day. It's just, whew, Lord have mercy. Now he's 5. Whew, I got an old man on my hands.
So it is 2025 right now. So you had him. I think you said you had him in 2019.
19.
So like smack dab in the middle of the goddamn pandemic.
Yup.
That's probably why they put your ass to sleep.
Probably.
Was it like full swing and like masks everyone?
It wasn't. It was kind of like whispers about it, but it wasn't like full blown mask, only one person and stuff like that. It was just kind of like the beginning,
Yeah, because I remember October of 19 when I was like kind of joking about. I was like, oh, I hope we won't get COVID, and then like come fucking February, it's like, God damn it, we got COVID. Well, we didn't, but it like everything fucking shut down in March.
When did Kalia give us COVID? October?
It was October of 20, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's the first time.
And then we were working too, so everything shut down. And like both of us were working. I was working with NASA, and so was my husband. And they were just like, "Okay, take y'all asses home."
Well, that's good though, that you were able to keep your job. But hold on, so you went from not finance, but financial aid at Georgia.
Yeah.
Then you came to Huntsville, and what did you start doing?
I started doing internships with NASA. Well, I had other little side jobs, but my real job, I guess you want to call it.
Her OnlyFans is
Right.
no, okay.
Exactly.
That wasn't around yet. She's old, so it was still dial up.
It was 2019.
It was your decision between do you want your phone or do you want your internet? I mean, come on.
Her eBay account where she was selling VHS tapes.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm being silly, but so okay. So 2019.
2019 had Nathaniel. Then the world shut down like a couple months later. I guess whenever COVID hit.
It was like March or May, somewhere in there.
2020, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was 2020.
There had been whispers, but it wasn't like, I think they were preparing for the worst.
No one really knew what the fuck to do.
No one.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we had the greatest president ever, so.
Yeah. Fuck him.
And we got him back.
Fuck him again. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Okay, so you did some side jobs, then you got into NASA.
I got into I worked for their internship.
Okay, and then what did you start doing with NASA after the internship program?
After the internship program, I stayed with them for about 6.5 years. I was a contractor.
Okay.
So I wasn't a servant.
Okay.
But yeah, I worked with them until for about 6.5 years, and then I had to stop because the care for my mom was like rapidly increasing.
Right.
And so I had to leave that. I left them in July of last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so
But hubby's
still there doing his thing.
Okay, and he's bringing home the bacon.
He better be bringing home something.
I mean, not.
Got bills.
I mean, well, you gotta watch out with how you say that because there's a lot of things he could bring home.
He better not cut it off.
So you have baby Nathaniel,
Yes.
and then you have hubby and Clarence.
Clarence.
Clarence. Okay.
Yep.
And then mama has her accident. You're working, and then you're just like, it's too much. I'm going to quit.
Yes.
You're going to fucking work.
Yes.
You're going to bring home the bacon.
Yes.
And then so now you kind of take care of mama and baby boy.
And baby boy.
And
So
now
you're probably
just,
10 times busier than when you were working too.
Yeah.
yeah, because well, mom's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
There's
It
no
is.
break in that whatsoever, unless you're on a podcast, and then daddy's taking care of
That's true.
hopefully
been great.
mama and baby boy.
Yeah, he's been great. He's helped out so much as far as like helping take care of my mom. My mom was like as a son, whatever. And he's just been with us. He's like my ride or die, I guess, since we've known each other.
And that's a long time. And then y'all, I mean, for what, 6 years, long distance? Most people don't even last like a year long distance.
Yeah.
So for y'all to last 6 years, then you get sick, then you get married.
Yeah.
Like you got a good.
I do.
Yeah.
He's alright.
I think it's a bit more than I.
I mean, come on now.
Nah, he's a
He
good
ain't
one.
gonna listen to this, so you know.
He alright. No, he's a good one. He's a good one. He get on my nerves.
Well, no.
Well, that's marriage.
That's
That's marriage.
I was about to say,
That's-
that doesn't mean he's a good one. That just means he's a man.
But yeah,
so
he's a
you
good
know.
dude. I'm very blessed to have him.
I got
So,
you.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
So, because of Mama, are y'all thinking of moving in with Mama?
You might as well say we already live with mama.
I mean, because you said that.
Yeah. So we're not like moved. Well, you might as well say we are kind of moved in, but we still have our house out in Madison.
I got
So
you.
we're kind of like split. Like we'll go to our house and make sure everything's good. We have really good neighbors who like watch over our house too.
Yeah,
So
which
we'll
is
make
good.
sure everything's good. Pull the trash, do all
Right.
that kind of stuff, and then we're back at my mom's. So we're pretty much there every day.
I got you.
Now, how old is? If you don't want to tell, it's fine. But it's like, how old is mom?
Mom just turned 78 in January.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, our moms are
She
pretty.
had you at a.
And she had me I guess at old too.
Third,
She was geriatric as
Yeah.
well. I bet
Not
you
as-
they told her eggs were old as well.
Yeah.
not as old as my mom, because your mom was probably 31,
I was
30.
but I mean, for her.
probably when,
Yeah,
because my mom was 30. Like my mom's 82, and she and I are the same. I think I'm 48.
I'm 47.
No, wait, am I
You're
47?
47.
I'm 47. I'll turn 48 this year. Yeah, but will you turn 48 this year also?
I just turned 47.
You just okay, yeah. So I just turned 40. No,
Seven.
I just but I will turn 48 this year. But my mom's 82, so she had me at 35. So your mom would have probably been like
Yeah.
about 31.
Yeah.
So
And then my mom had my brother at 38.
all these old wombs.
That's why that's why I know kind of a
Yeah.
little bit, because I was 18
Yeah.
and my mom had me when she was 20. So like I graduated high school in May, my brother was born in August,
Oh, wow.
and like, you know, well she didn't have to have a C-section, but
A she section.
yeah,
Seashore.
but like I was with her throughout it all.
Yeah.
Like shots. And then I became second mama.
Yeah.
So she worked in the morning, I worked at night, and we just traded off on little man because I graduated high school, and then I heard horror stories because a lot of my friends got pregnant in high school, dropped out, had babies, and were like, this is what's going on. I was like, fuck that. I want my baby, because he was my baby
Yeah.
too, to be able to talk
Yeah. Absolutely.
before I let him out in the world in a way,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like I couldn't think, like I didn't want him to sit in a dirty diaper all day and then not be able to say they didn't change my diaper.
Right.
And my brother is wicked smart
Yeah.
and like awesome. So 2 years old, I was like, okay, look, daddy, you got to be in the picture. I'm out. And then I just joined the workforce.
Yeah.
And I just got my associates last year. So like it took me forever, but
So.
which is crazy is that when my brother graduated high school and when he was 18, he asked me to take him to Calhoun.
Which is
And
a local community college here in Huntsville.
Thank you. And I signed up the same time he did.
Awesome.
Because I was like, you know what? I want to see if I could do this.
And you did.
And I like just paid like as I went,
Yeah.
so no student debt. But then COVID kind of knocked me on my ass for a few years, so it took me like 6 years. But I got my associates, and he's at UAH.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
That's what's up.
yeah, but I mean, it's like it's the craziest thing with them saying
I know.
that this is like geriatric or whatever. I mean, I
it's
just
crazy.
fucking hate it
Yeah.
for women, because there's more and more women who are like, I'm gonna want to live my life first,
Yeah. for
because
sure.
you ain't got no fucking life after you have a kid.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and you take a giant economic hit too, because it's
Yeah.
like you know, that break you have to take for maternity care, and we don't have fucking mandated maternity leave in this country. And
And I know my mama didn't have it because she was just a waitress at the Elks. So, you know,
Yeah.
they probably wanted her like 3 days after she gave birth to Patrick, but
Be like, hey, come
I
on
was
back.
there.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I don't know. It's just the craziest thing, the whole having babies later in life. You can do it.
Oh yeah, you definitely can.
And don't call it geriatric. Like,
Yeah,
you need to
please.
come up with a different fucking word for it.
Something.
And no men. Fuck the men, because the men are just like,
useless.
yes.
Yeah.
And they tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I went on a little, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
So, were you since you were still working when you gave birth? Then were you? Did your company come with like a pretty good?
Yeah, I did. I
maternity?
went on like short-term
Disability?
disability,
Oh, okay.
maternity leave kind of thing. I think it was like 6 weeks or so, maybe 6 to 12 weeks. I can't remember exactly. But then I came right back to work, ready to work kind of thing.
Did y'all have to put him into daycare or?
No, my mom watched him.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
So this was before,
All
the,
before
accident.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was watching him
gotcha.
while we were working, and
Did he take paternity leave? Was
my husband.
that there? Yeah.
I think he took like a week or two, something like that. I
That's
think
better
they may
than
have
most
had,
men,
Yeah.
so that's pretty good.
I don't know if it was paternity leave or I don't know,
Vacation.
short term or vacation or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, he did take like 2 weeks, and then I was still going into the office, and then here comes COVID, like right in front of us, you know. And they're all panicking, trying to figure out how to put everyone to work from home. And so, what was that, like March of 20 or?
I want to
whatever.
say it was March of 2020.
Yeah,
It's
something
pretty
like
much
that,
when
yeah.
everybody started trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
How can we do this securely with nobody else being able to get into your home Wi-Fi
Right,
and
exactly.
all that good stuff?
And so we were just, we would just leave him with my mom, leave Nathaniel with my mom, and they would do whatever they wanted to do. Then, we would come and get him and all that kind of stuff. But we've pretty much been living there forever, really.
Gotcha.
Between our house and her house is kind of like what we do. We split it up. And Nathaniel, it was pretty much, he calls her Ha Ha. I don't know why he calls her Ha Ha.
Aww,
But that's
That is just.
that's what he
cute.
calls
that's
her. Ha Ha.
precious. Yeah.
I've not
So-
heard that for a grandma.
Me neither.
I mean,
So-
ha ha, I love.
Ha Ha.
My younger two granddaughters call me every time they see me. They go, Papa, Papa. I'm like, oh, Mills, my little heart. And then I'm like, okay, how long are y'all here for? Papa's tired.
Papa's gonna go in the back room. Do not come in.
Yeah,
knock
Papa's
on my
tired.
door. I'm done.
Yeah.
I will
They're 2
say,
and 4, so you
Well, of course.
understand.
Oh, yeah, for
With
sure.
a 5-year-old, you can take them in small doses if you
Yeah.
don't live with them 24/7.
Oh my God. I had to tell my little, like, don't follow me, Smalls. Do not follow me, Smalls. I need a minute. Well,
Yep.
how long is that going to be? A while.
I mean, look at the clock when it says 1115. Then you come get me.
Right. Yeah.
I will say that that's one thing that like amazes me about geriatric mothers. It's like I am so goddamn tired at 47. I don't know how. I can't even like if my I'm not wishing this, but like if something happens to my daughter and I have to take custody of my younger 2 granddaughters. Jesus Christ. I'm going to make sure she's got a life insurance policy so I can hire a goddamn nanny because I cannot imagine handling fucking toddlers into my 50s.
Yeah.
Well, Auntie Jay would help.
I know, but you got your own little terror to deal with. And so.
I would still help. Fuck him. I'll just go help the babies. He's 14. They're 2 and 4. There's
Yeah.
a big difference between.
Yeah, I like the Have you
It's
noticed
the energy.
Yeah, have you noticed a
is-
drop off in your energy as you hit your mid to late 40s?
Absolutely.
God bless. I can't believe how tired I get so easily.
It's almost like, damn, like, do today because I'm tired of shit.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to like start stabbing you some more with some more
Maybe.
shots. You
Go
know?
put another tumor on that adrenal gland. No, I'm just teasing.
She was on life support. No.
Just a smaller one.
No, just give her some speed, and then she doesn't have any problems. But
Some
she has some
cocaine.
speed.
Man, I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's the same old thing. You wake up like, damn, could I even sleep? Like, I don't even think I like sleep like a full.
Have you got the CPAP machine yet?
No, but my husband does.
Oh, yeah.
Is it the Darth Vader one?
Is that the one that's like got the little?
Well,
mask
just
on
makes
top
the
of
makes the noise. Yeah, like Darth Vader. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that.
They
One.
have some better ones now.
Yeah, my
They're
husband's
expensive
an old
as
man.
fuck,
They
though.
are.
Yeah.
Though. He's an old man, so he just sticks with what he knows.
How old is your husband?
45,
Oh,
How old are you?
47.
How old is he, the old man? And he's
Grr, he an old man.
Grr.
He is an old man.
he's an old soul.
He's
I've
an old
been
soul.
told that since I was like 6 years old. You're an old soul.
He is. He is
That's just
very
your
much
trauma.
of an old.
You know what? Shut up.
Oh, I did have a question, though. So, since Jennifer and I are adoptive parents, like, you know, like the foster care and adoptive parents are just littered with people who had fertility issues. Did you two ever look into it?
We did, and we still like. We looked into that, but he had, for some reason, he was just kind of like a little uncomfortable, I guess you want to say, with like someone that wasn't genetically tied to him. I don't know. It was like this.
We've heard it. We've heard it before. Yeah.
I was looking at it. I was like, oh, why not? You know, I don't care. And but we did look at adoption. We had talked about like having another one. Like before my mom's accident, we had talked about having Nathaniel have a brother or sister, but it would definitely be adoption. I was not going through.
Did y'all look at the surrogacy or?
We haven't. We just kind of like thought about it and talked briefly, but then as soon as like we were thinking and trying to go forward with it, my mom's accident happened, so everything was kind of like stopped.
Yeah, because that's kind of like having another child, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not trying to say that in a mean way, but you're helping her do everything that you would a child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
And so
does she have home health care? Like,
she does.
Like
she
a worker or
she
something?
has like a nurse that comes like once a week.
Once a week?
Like the nurse that does like the nursey stuff.
Yeah.
Like she's got like another person that comes every day.
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to say she should have a home.
Yeah. She's got like a nurse that does like the nurse stuff, doctor stuff.
Right.
But she has a home care person who comes every day.
And like helps with like baths and all the stuff that you need help with because you cannot use your legs.
And the crazy thing with that is like insurance won't pay for shit.
Is she not on Medicare?
She's on Medicare, but they won't pay for like okay, they'll pay for like a nurse, like a home nurse, right? But if you have to have someone who like does the bathing, sits with her, like a caregiver, insurance is like you're on your own, kids.
Well, I've heard there's some government programs that will pay like you as
they'll pay you, but the amount is really small, kind of. But I mean, I guess something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like as far as she has to like pay out of pocket as far as with like someone who does like the normal things like I mean, I do it too. I help, but I need help.
Yeah. Right, but, like to get groceries.
Yeah, groceries, the normal like
bathing,
everyday things.
Yeah. So
do the laundry, sweep, clean, all that stuff.
We've been blessed to have she has a really good caregiver.
That's awesome.
But you have to pay for the caregiver out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hopefully, Dad left a good insurance policy behind.
Yeah, she was. My dad was military, so. You know, they're all in
the pension.
Okay, that's good.
So that helps, but still.
It's crazy.
That's I don't like that. Because it just makes you like, why? Yeah. Why would you have to, you have an insurance.
Yeah, if it makes sense.
You cannot do it on your own. Why do you have to pay for someone to come help you?
Because America.
I mean, right now, fuck America. I'm German.
Yeah.
Fuck America.
All right, so we're already at an hour 27. So
Oh, we did really
we did
good.
really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a quick break for our guests, and we'll be right back. And we're back
Did you miss me?
with every bullet so far.
Yes, you did.
All right, Miss Jennifer, what have we been snacking on?
We have been snacking on a baguette with a charcuterie kit from Aldi's.
A charcuterie.
Well, there's a TikTok where the lady's like, it's a charcuterie. But no, a charcuterie kit from Aldi's.
Yeah, Jennifer and I
it's
were
just
walking around the other day, and we were
meat
like,
and cheese.
meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese. Because you wanted savory, so we're like, fuck. It's
Yeah.
really hard. Like, if someone just tells us, I want bacon, then it's just easy.
Yeah.
But when we have to think about it, oh my God, it's like back and forth. But this one wasn't that hard to figure out.
Yeah, there's been some good like charcuterie kits we've gotten in the past, and this was a good one too.
Yeah.
We're recording this on March 2nd, and it's kind of like right in the middle of Girl Scout cookie season. So like we've actually had a couple of girls
Mints and Samoas.
Yeah, so had you had sweet, we would have gotten some Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
But we were happy. We'd love some.
But my plate's empty.
Yeah,
so,
me and Zane have been chowing down. Poor Maria, we've had her talking the whole time.
Well, yeah, she just talked the whole time, so
good.
she can eat hers after she gets done. Because after snack time, it's story time. So I asked you in the beginning to think of a good story for our listeners.
Okay.
And now it's your turn.
I have so many. Okay, let's see. So if it's gonna be about my son, this is like a daily thing.
Well, I mean,
It can be about you, or just something-
You don't have
just
to
something
throw your
memorable.
son underneath the bus if you don't want to.
Let me think. Like my son, he's
Awesome.
such a boy. Like straight up, like jump off things, run around,
Fearless.
fearless.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
I mean,
you go.
he's just like in it. And so when he was probably about maybe 2.5, he was delayed in speaking in his speech.
Okay.
So we went through like
Speech
therapy and all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
OT and all that
All
good
that,
stuff. Yeah.
And so, excuse me, he just graduated from his like speech, maybe like about 2 months ago.
Oh,
Good for him.
And so he's just been talk. And
And
so
you're like, oh my God, why did I take him to speech
Right?
therapy?
And
Now he won't shut up.
he's just talk.
Oh, bless him.
So one night it was me, my husband, Nathaniel, and my mom, and we were all just kind of sitting downstairs. And I think we talked somehow muscles or getting muscles was like a topic. I don't even know. It just came out of randomness. right?
Mama needed muscles to
Right.
be able to stand up for
Yes.
herself. That's where it was.
And so all of a sudden, and so my husband was sitting on the floor, and Nathaniel was like, "Daddy, how do you have muscles when you have all that food in your stomach?" And it just came out. It's just like random. He's like, "You have all that food in your stomach. Where are your muscles?" And my husband was just looking like,
Child.
and we took all of our me and my mom were laughing so hard. He was like, "Mommy, what are you laughing at?" I was like, "Oh, haha, told me a joke." He was like, "Well, what was the joke?" And I'm like,
Damn it, why did I say
It's not
that?
appropriate for children.
right? And
Oh, that is so funny.
He said it. He just randomly will say things like, maybe like the other day, he said I was showing him my muscles. I was like, "Look, I have muscles," like doing a bicep thing, and he was like, "Oh no, not really, Mommy." I don't
Jesus.
Out of the mouth of babes, right?
Damn.
like, "You should
Kids
about
say
something."
the darndest
really,
things and the
Meanest thing
well, not
sometimes.
necessarily the meanest things, but it's just
Yeah. Too
what
honest.
they think. It's
Yeah.
like right there.
And I was like, "You little." No, Mommy, no.
No, mommy.
Let me see your muscles. Mine
Yeah.
are bigger than yours, so you
But
better
he'll
watch
say,
out.
"Mine are bigger than yours, Mommy," and I'm like, 5. How is that even possible?
I was like, I will.
Pick up mommy right now. Let's see.
Like, I
Come
will
on.
break you in half, child.
That's funny.
So,
That's
yeah,
a good
Oh
one.
my gosh.
he just randomly comes up with like, he'll randomly say stuff. He's really into like, he watches his tablet, so he watches like YouTube Kids. Mm-hmm. So he's really into like Roblox, which I'm trying to get him to stop watching that kind of
Roblox.
Oh, good luck.
And then Minecraft and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
So I'm like, now you know you're not supposed to be watching that. Well, Mommy, how did you even see me? I mean, do you even see me? Am I standing right here right now? I was like, you're right in front of me. But I know, Mom. Where did you come from? I mean, how did you know that I was watching Minecraft? And I can see it right there on the tablet. And he's like, oh, well, Mommy. It's okay.
You didn't see that.
You didn't see
I'm going to manipulate
I'm just going to gaslight your ass, Mom.
5-year-old. Yeah.
Man, he does, and then he'll be like, he starts saying, dude, my guy. Bruh, yes.
Fuck, bruh.
Ooh, I was like, I am not your
fucking
bruh.
hate that.
not your bruh.
I am not your brother or your bra.
That's what
Your
I said.
cuz.
Your bra. And sometimes it sounds like he says bra, and I'm like, I'm not your bra, bro. Bruv. Any of that motherfucking shit.
Yes.
I hate it.
I do too. 'Cause
I'm your mother.
He goes, bruh. I said, wait, what? Who's
Ooh.
he talking to?
See, I have a 14-year-old that does that, and your 5-year-old does it. Oh my gosh.
But he doesn't do it to Clarence. He only does it to me.
Well, then you just make Clarence talk to him. Be like, you know what? Go talk to your bruv over there. Bye.
And I just have to look at him like, are you serious right now? I
Little
mean,
boy, I will make you bleed.
I will
Man.
say that in our support group, we have a lot of people that have the same issue.
It is a common problem.
Yes.
you know, and he's just like, I'm trying to think of some other things. Like he probably got it from me or from Clarence, but when he was in school, they would call us like, well, you know, Nathaniel said some bad words today. And I'm like, what did you say today? And she's like, oh, I really can't repeat it. And I was like,
Can you spell it?
like,
Like,
and I'm
what?
like, Nathaniel, you do not say bad words. Well, Mommy, I mean, I was just playing, and then all of a sudden I said a bad word. And I'm like, but you don't say bad words. And he's just like, I know, but it just came out. And I'm just like, how are you trying to rationalize with me right now?
Gonna gaslight you.
Right, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He
That
is
is
like a
crazy.
gaslighter. Like,
You gotta
Lord
watch out
bless
for him
him.
when he becomes a teenager.
Bless
We're gonna
him.
have you back in about 5 years
Yeah.
and see how this
Season
works.
10.
There you go.
because he is, ooh, I don't know.
That's
He
funny.
keeps
Maria-
us on our toes.
Yes.
I bet he does.
They all do.
Miss Maria, thank you for coming out. And thanks for all our listeners for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting. If you have any funny stories about your kids,
Or if you need some bad parenting advice or have any ideas for topics.
please email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com. Telephone number soon to come so you can tell your story times.
I was wanting to say, like, I didn't know where you were going with that because that's not on here.
I know, I just ad-libbed.
If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you don't like our podcast, just like when our kids ask why they have to take their ADHD medication, even though they act like a menace to society when they are off of it.
Tough shit.
God damn
Take
it.
your fucking medicine.
Thanks, Maria.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Maria.
Bye.
Bye.